Welcome to your coverage of Missoula's sports heroes. You're tuned in to the Missoula Prep Sports Network live stream of local sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen.
This presentation of Missoula Sports is proudly powered by Fuel Fitness, the only gym from Montana for Montana.
Check it out.
MPSN is your leader in Missoula's prep sports.
Woo!
We now take you to the action on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Everybody hustles out there, okay, guys? Nobody quits.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Century Field. Chris Stratton for the Missoula Prep Sports Network as we are set to go for a doubleheader with the Missoula Mavericks and the Great Falls Chargers at Century Field in Great Falls, Montana. And back in the action, the Mavericks are, and well, it's been a split first 2 weeks. As the opening weekend, the Mavericks would host these Great Falls Chargers and split, falling in Game 1 and winning Game 2. And then last weekend, Bozeman made their way to Missoula, and the Bucks would split with the Mavericks on that one. The Mavericks getting the walk-off win in the ninth inning in Missoula, and then Game 2, a little bit of a runaway by the Chargers, and the Bucks, and they would take that game 17-0. But the first 3 to 4 weeks with Legion baseball, as I've figured out here in my last few years of covering Legion baseball, is is the search for the right pitching squad. Now, for the most part, there are some holes to fill in the defensive side of the field. But also, you lose pitchers and you want to figure out where those guys are going to be in the lineup. And, you always can depend on the Chalmers, the Hills, the Frasers, the Stevenses. But, you've got to have some other guys to roll in there in those rotations as well. And, well, for the first 3 or 4 weeks, it's a pitch by committee type of situation for Legion baseball. So that's kind of what we're going to see. And I wouldn't imagine anything would be different today than it would be from the last couple of weeks. Should be interesting to see, as we do have a young lineup set up for the Mavericks. And the Chargers going with kind of the same lineup they had back in Missoula opening weekend. So, it always changes, always different things going on. The officials making their way to the field so we can have our plate talk. It is windy here in Great Falls, which is normal. But beautiful drive over. Do have some overcast, but we're hoping that the weather does hold off until we get our 14 innings in, doubleheader, 7 innings apiece, as our officials make their way out for plate talk. And Coach Hathaway and Coach Foster for the Mavericks and Coach Foster for the Great Falls Chargers meeting at the plate and going over everything. And well, it's a beautiful field here too at Century. I just love the atmosphere and the locations that we have for Legion baseball in the state of Montana. Being from Missoula, Lindbergh Craig Field is my favorite spot to watch Legion baseball. But I'll tell you what, this park here where the Great Falls Voyagers play at Century Field, it's a beautiful backdrop with the river along the way and a golf course to the back of us. Just a beautiful, beautiful. Feel very lucky to be able to come out and watch some baseball with you guys this year, and it's been a lot of fun. And well, we've got state tournament this year as well. MPSN will have coverage of the state tournament for both AA and A. AA is in Billings, A is in Florence. So we'll have coverage, and they're the same week this year. Last year they had the AA, and then the A started the same day. And we get the signal from our officials to go ahead and start things up. So we'll probably be stepping aside for the national anthem here in a few moments on MPSN. We'll hang out here while everything gets situated. Good crowd traveling over from Missoula. supporting their Mavericks. And the Chargers with a great group of individuals out here supporting Legion Baseball, braving the weather. You know, this time of year when it comes to Legion Baseball, it is brave it or go home. As the officials come to the fence here, and we should be underway here in just a few moments with our game. And there is our PA announcer. And they're going to go ahead and do starting lineups first. So we'll go ahead and take care of our starting lineups as well at this time. Starting lineups, as we always start with the opposing team, whether we're home or away. The Missoula Mavericks, in my heart, are always the home team. So we'll start with the Great Falls Chargers. Leading off for the Chargers is the third baseman, number 20, Travis Stouter. Number 12, Derek Spring, will be the shortstop. He'll bat second. Batting first is a designated hitter, number 1, Cale Richards. Batting fourth, number 33, Andrew Paradise. He is the right fielder. Hanging in center field and batting fifth will be number 5, Josh Lowry. Number 24, Tyler Marr, will bat sixth, and he'll be the wall behind the plate at the catcher position. Batting seventh is the first baseman, number 8, Cam McNamee. And the second baseman, number 3, Chaz Stevens, will bat eighth. Rounding out the order, number 23, the left fielder, Hunter Hauk. On the mound for Great Falls is number 28, Parker Garnis. Chargers, as I mentioned, managed by Tony Foster. The Missoula Mavericks now, their starting lineups. Leading things off is the big left fielder, number 16, Sam Busey. Holding down first base and batting second is number 7, Dane Frazier. The designated hitter will bat third. That's number 13, Terad Richardson. Number 11, Caden Heydrich, will bat fourth, and he'll hold down third. Hanging out in center field is the speed demon, number 3, Brendan Hill. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth is the second baseman, number 8, Thomas Martin. Big shoes to fill there. Batting seventh, I should say, is number 18, Parker Stevens, hanging out in right field. Behind the plate, defending, is number 14, Andrew Clausen. He is the 8-hole batter. Batting ninth and rounding out the order, number 1, Dayton Bay, and he'll be at the shortstop position. Getting the call on the mound is number 20, Zach Hangus. So Hangus getting the call to the mound to pitch to start things off, as the wind has now shifted from our backs to now left to right. That American flag has kind of spun around the pole as far as where the wind direction is coming from. The Missoula Mavericks, they are managed by Brent Hathaway. So the Chargers taking the field. Mavericks down the third base line as we get ready for our national anthem. Tomorrow's games at Bozeman have been canceled due to the winter-type weather that's going to be coming through the area, so we won't have those games, and I have not heard if there is any type of makeup situation for those games. As our PA announcer gets us our starting lineups for Great Falls as they have taken the field. It really is turning out to be a good day here. Hopefully the weather holds off now. To the south of us, it is looking pretty sketchy. Alrighty. Our starting lineups have been taken care of. So we'll go ahead and step aside for the national anthem. When we come back, we'll have your first pitch. You're listening to Mavericks Baseball on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Have you recently found yourself in a situation where you need a lawyer? Give our friends at Tip Coburn & Associates a call today. They have been practicing injury, employment, and criminal defense in addition to other areas of law for the past 60 years. Give Tip Coburn & Associates a call today at 406-549-5186 or stop by their website at www.tipcoburnandassociates.com. Tip Coburn & Associates, lawyers fighting for Montana since 1959 and proud sponsors of Missoula Prep Sports on MPSN. The Missoula Prep Sports Network is Missoula's home for high school sports, and we need your help. MPSN is looking for local businesses to help us cover our local high school athletes by advertising their business on the Missoula Prep Sports Network. If you know of a business that would be interested in helping the Missoula Prep Sports Network in our coverage of high school sports in the Missoula area, drop us a line by using the Contact Us link at MPSN406.com. MPSN, Missoula's home for Missoula's prep sports heroes.
Get Montana strong at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition. Montana owned and Montana proud. Your $29 a month Montana Mega Gym. Fuel has premier facilities with the latest equipment, nutrition superstores, high energy classes, refreshing smoothie bars, attentive childcare, expert trainers, and we never close. Best of all, you have access to 6 locations statewide for just $29 a month. That's less than $1 a day. Get Montana strong at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition. Go to clubfuelfitness.com right now to find a Montana location near you.
Warning!
Fast Trip Conoco and Magic Touch Car Wash are at it again. They've taken what was already the best wash in town, the best value in town, and made it even better. Now whenever you gas up your rig at Fast Trip Conoco, you can clean it up for half price. Yeah, you heard that right. When you fuel up your car at Fast Trip Conoco, you can get any wash at Magic Touch Car Wash for half price.
Warning! This is not a drill.
It's the Gas It Up, Clean It Up special at Fast Trip Conoco and Magic Touch Car Wash, on reserve across from Larchmont.
Half price wash only valid when purchased at the pump or in Fast Trip Conoco.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton from the Missoula Prep Sports Network as we are ready to go for our first pitch of today's doubleheader. On the mound for the Great Falls Chargers is Parker Garnis warming up. Coach Mosier taking his place down the first base line, and Brent Hathaway standing at his spot at third. Sam Busey to lead off with Dane Frazier in the on-deck circle and Trad Richardson in the hole. And it's kind of warmed up here a little bit in the booth. Well, hello there. Our voice of Missoula Mavericks, Paul Yarbrough. Want to send a shout out to him as he is listening in, watching at #OurTownSuperior. Paul will make a few trips, I think, this year for us and do some commentary. He has volunteered his time. That means he's going to be stuck with me in a vehicle on the road, which is always scary. We're ready for our first pitch by Parker Garnis. First pitch over the plate for strike one, and then that is at 103 for our first pitch. And our game time temp is 54 degrees with a weather alert. Second pitch. Over the plate. Evens us out at 1. Swung on. Busey's going to have this one bounce out. Picked up by the third baseman. Throw is on time and on target for out number 1. Brings us to the first baseman, number 7, Dane Frazier. Frazier's going to ping this one down the first base line for strike one. Now, as I mentioned, these two teams played each other opening weekend with a split. As Frazier let this one go, rolls between the legs of the catcher. And we go even on the count at 1. 1 down, nobody on. Here's Garnis with the pitch. And we get ball 2. For Frazier in that opening weekend, he would start at first in that first game. 1 for 2 with a run and RBI. This one's going to be dinged out into left field. And Dane Frazier has found himself on base with a hit for the Mavericks. And now we come to the designated hitter, Trad Richardson, with 1 out, and Dane Frazier at first. Trad to settle in. Trad, a multi-tasker for the Mavericks as he holds down third normally. And this one's going to be into center field. It's going to hop in front of the center fielder. Frazier will hold up at second, and the Mavericks will have runners at first and second, with Richardson liking that opening pitch. So we come to Caden Heydrich. Hydro, as they like to call him around here. And he was the youngest player on the Mavericks last year at 16 and really had a lot of growth. Saw him improve greatly throughout the year. A lot of confidence in his play. Here's the first pitch over the plate for strike 1. He's been a fun one to watch too. He's a football player over there at Sentinel as well. Here's Garnis with the pitch. High. Even the count out at 1. Something that the boys really needed to work on last year was patience at the plate. And they were doing a great job of it this year. Brendan Hill in the on-deck circle for the Mavericks with 1 out. Runners at first and second. And letting it go inside. We get ball 2. Richardson at first and Frazier at second. Richardson, one of the speedy players. Here's Heydrich now, waiting on the 2-1. Pitch on the way. And we're inside for a ball. Garnis did have a few innings in that second game against the Mavericks. But I did not pull pitching stats because the first couple of weeks it's kind of hard to tell. This one's going to be bounced out, picked up by the third baseman. The throw to first is on time and on target. That's 2 down, but the runners advance to second and third. And the big bat of Brendan Hill comes to the plate with 2 down and 2 on. Top of the first inning. Missoula Mavericks with their first road trip of 2019. Looking to see if they can own the first series as they've split the first 2. Garnis now with the right-handed pitch. And it'll catch the plate at strike 1. Garnis has done a good job of throwing an opening pitch strike on each batter. And they've been inside. Pitch on the way. Swung on. We go 0-2. Thomas Martin in the on-deck circle. Each of these offensive players on the field for the Mavericks, as Hill's going to have this one down the first base or third baseline foul. But Frazier, Richardson, and Hill all taking their talents to the next level. Thomas Martin as well, who's in the on-deck circle. Here's the pitch. And Hill will be struck out. So the Mavericks get 2 on. They'll hang him there, and it's still 0-0. We'll be back with the Chargers portion of the first inning right after this on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Have you recently found yourself in a situation where you need a lawyer? Give our friends at Tip Coburn and Associates a call today. They have been practicing injury, employment, and criminal defense in addition to other areas of law for the past 60 years. Give Tip Coburn and Associates a call today at 406-549-5186 or stop by their website at www.tipcoburnandassociates.com. Tip Coburn and Associates, lawyers fighting for Montana since 1959 and proud sponsors of Missoula Prep Sports on MPSN.
Get Montana strong at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition. Montana owned and Montana proud. Your $29 a month Montana Mega Gym. Fuel has premier facilities with the latest equipment, nutrition superstores, high energy classes, refreshing smoothie bars, attentive childcare, expert trainers, and we never close. Best of all, you have access to 6 locations statewide for just $29 a month. That's less than $1 a day. Get Montana strong at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition. Go to clubfuelfitness.com right now to find a Montana location near you.
Welcome back to MPSN as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Scoreless. It's time for the Chargers to come to the plate. And it'll be Travis Stouter leading off. So Stouter, Spring, and Richards. Stouter coming up. Coach Foster on his way to the third base coach's box as we get ready for our first Hangus pitch. And we'll have ball 1. Hangus pitched in that first weekend against these Chargers. Only a couple innings. As we get ball 2. Everybody bundled up today. This one's fouled off for strike 1. Flag in center field at about face. Pitch on the way. This one's going to bounce out to Hangus. He's going to pick it up. The toss to Frazier, and we've got our first out of the game for the Mavericks. Takes us to the shortstop, number 12, Derek Spring. Spring had a good day that day, opening weekend, as Hangus' first pitch is thrown for a ball. One for 4 with a run and an RBI. This one's going to be picked up by Martin, bobbled and thrown to first, and they're going to say the runner is safe at first. So 1 on now for the Chargers. With 1 out, we come to Cale Richards, the designated hitter for this first match. As the first pitch is a strike. And they are going to score that as an error. And that one's going to tag the batter, so runners at first and second now for Great Falls with one out, and we come to the right fielder. Number 33, Andrew Paradise. Clausen coming out to converse with Hangus to check in with them, trying to go tight inside. Spring aggressive on that, or tight on that inside portion of the batter's box. So runners at first and second take their lead. Here's Angus. And Hangus will throw a ball. Richards 0 for 3 that opening day in the first game, as this one's fouled off to even us out at 1. One for 1 in game 2, though. And Spring playing games out at second forces Hangus to step off. Good lead out there for Spring. Here's the pitch. Over the plate for a strike. So 1-2 on the count. And that might have been a hold your ground at second, or I'm going to be tossing these over the plate and you'll be hung here. Here's Hangus with a 1-2. Swung on, reached for, finds the hole, picked up by Hill. Hill will miss it. Runner's around third on his way home, and Great Falls will pick up a run. Off the base hit. So Chargers get on the board first. Off the Paradise single over second. Now we come to Josh Lowry, the center fielder. Swung on for strike 1. Angus sets. Runners at first and second. And time is called, and they're going to call a balk on Hangus. And our plate umpire says you roll it on your hip. And Hathaway wanted an explanation, so he's going to come out and discuss it. You know, folks, we've got a great new sponsor on board, 5 Valley Auto Sales. If you're looking to upgrade your ride, well, stop by 5 Valley Auto Sales on South Reserve. They've got a great selection of vehicles. Maybe stop by their website, www.5valleyautosales.com, and check it out. 3300 South Reserve Street, 5 Valley Auto Sales. Proud sponsor of Missoula Mavericks baseball, as Hangus is going to throw the pitch inside to even us out at 1. Runners at second and third now. 1 out. 1 run earned. Here's the pitch. Foul back into the backstop. Lowry in the box with Tyler Marr in the on-deck circle for Great Falls. Hangus checks the runner at third. Pitch on the way. Inside, and we're even at 2. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit here in the booth. Here's the pitch. And the check swing, no commitment, so we get a full count at 3-2. First game, opening weekend. Great Falls, we get the win 9-5. 7 runs in the 6th, as this one's going to be popped right over second. Runner at third is on his way home. Runner at second is going to come to a halt at third. And the Chargers take a 2-0 lead over the Mavericks with 1 out. So Tyler Marr coming to the plate. Clausen giving the signal. And looks like they're going to have him redo it with runners on the corners. Putting the ball in play. And now the catcher steps into the batter's box. Low pitch for ball 1. Coach Foster with a extended signal. Angus now with the stretch. And this one's rolled out. Picked up by Heydrich. He's going to make the throw to first, and that will be out number 2, but the runner from third scores. And now the Chargers with a runner at second with 2 outs. And we come to the first baseman, Cam McNamee. Left-handed batter. And Angus will catch the plate for strike 1. Angus now set. Swung on. This one's into center field. Will have it bounce in front of him. Runner's going to hold up at third. And McNamee will get a 2-out single. Chaz Stevens now to the plate for the Chargers. We're at the 8-hole batter for Great Falls with runners at first and third and 2 outs. Chargers taking a 3-run lead here in the opening inning. Angus ready for his first pitch to Stevens. It's over the plate for strike 1. Stevens settles in. Angus checks the runner at first. And we're high for an even count at 1. As I mentioned, the game tomorrow between the Mavericks and the Bozeman Bucks in Bozeman. Doubleheader has been canceled, so we will not have coverage of that. This one's foul back to get us to strike 2. But the Mavericks will have the Billings Royals next weekend for a pair of doubleheaders, Saturday and Sunday. So we'll have coverage of that for you. And the Mavericks make their first Wednesday road trip this week as they go to Helena. This one's high over second. Martin says he's got it. It's in the glove, and that's the side. So Chargers with 3, leave 2, and we go to the top of the second. Right after this on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Fast Trip Conoco and Magic Touch Car Wash are at it again. They've taken what was already the best wash in town, the best value in town, and made it even better. Now whenever you gas up your rig at Fast Trip Conoco, you can clean it up for half price. Yeah, you heard that right. When you fuel up your car at Fast Trip Conoco, you can get any wash at Magic Touch Car Wash for half price.
Warning, this is not a drill.
It's the Gas It Up, Clean It Up special at Fast Trip Conoco and Magic Touch Car Wash, on reserve across from Larchmont.
Half-price wash only valid when purchased at the pump or in Fast Trip Conoco.
Stitches of Missoula is your resource for embroidery and screen printing. Give Stitches a call today at 406-529-2632 to speak with their super friendly staff and have them take care of your embroidery needs. From business logos to team jerseys, Stitches Embroidery can help you and your team look good. Check them out online at stitchesmontana.com to see their full line of silkscreen and embroidery options. Stitches is a proud sponsor of Prep Sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton from the Missoula Prep Sports Network as we move to the top of the second inning. Great Falls Chargers, 3 runs in the bottom of the first to give them a 3-0 lead on that Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Parker Garnis on the 5 Valley Auto pitcher's mound, warming up for his second inning of pitching, and it's the middle of the order, 6, 7, 8 batters, so mid to late order, with Thomas Martin leading off, Martin, Stevens, and Clausen for the Mavericks. And Martin will settle in here. Here's Garnis with the first pitch. Martin will lay off and let it roll by for ball 1. Wind still coming from the left as it kind of shifts towards us. Swung on. Strike 1. Parker Stevens in the on-deck circle for the Mavericks. Couple of Sentinel seniors. And swung on for strike 2. So 1-2 on the count to Martin. Top of second. Leadoff batter on the inning. Here's Garnis. And that one's going to be a ball off the knee of Marr. So Martin being patient. Connor's waiting for the signal. Now gets it. Here's the 2-2. Swung on down the third base line. This one's going to ride the third base line deep. Martin's going to round first. He'll make the corner as the throw is made, and he's going to slide up and come back to first. And the Mavericks will have a hit to lead off the second inning. We come to the right fielder now, Parker Stevens. Want to send a shout out to Parker's mom, Gina, who is back in Missoula, working the Riverbank run. Actually, they're probably done with the Riverbank run at this time, but she was not able to travel. I don't see her. I see Parker's dad as first pitch is swung on for a strike. But I know that Mama Stevens was working that Riverbank run this morning. What a great thing for our Missoula community to come out for, as this one's over the head of Stevens to even us out at 1. The Riverbank run helped such a great cause. Those folks over at the YMCA, great part of our community. And they're about more than just family fitness. I mean, the community is a big thing for the YMCA. As Stevens is patient for ball 2. And if you participated in the Riverbank run this morning, well, my hat's off to you. Pitch on the way. And we go 3-1. Parker Stevens ahead in the pitch count. Martin at first with no outs. Garnis. And we get a walk. So Parker Stevens will reach off of a walk, and with no outs, the Mavericks will have runners at first and second. And we come to Andrew Clausen, the catcher. So good situation for Clausen. Mavericks were able to load him up on the bases and move him, but Garnis shut him down. Here's the bunt. It's going to roll out. Garnis will pick it up. There's nobody at first, and that will load the bases for the Mavericks. So a miscommunication, and the Mavericks load the bases off the bunt. That takes us to the bottom of the order for the Mavericks. The shortstop, Dayton Bay. So the Mavericks sitting in good position here with loaded bases and no outs. Dayton Bay at the plate on the top of their order. Right behind. Let's see what Garnis brings down the tube this first pitch. It'll be over the plate for a strike. And he came right at Bay on that one. Here's Garnis with the stretch. And Bay will be patient to even it out at 1. Garnis laying off a little bit on that pitch. Sam Busey stands in the on-deck circle with loaded bases and no outs. Here's the pitch. And we get ball 2. Bay in a position to take what he wants here with no outs and loaded bases. And he's going to pop this one high down the first base line. Shortstop is there. It's in the glove, and that's out number 1. Everybody stays. That one looked like it juiced right off of the top of the bat. And that swings us to the top of the order to Sam Busey with 1 out and loaded bases. Busey now settles in, right-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. And Busey will let it go by for strike 1. Busey in that opening weekend, 0 for 6 with a run. Went 0 for 3 in the first game as he's going to smack this one out. Shortstop will pick it up. The throw to first will not be made, and the Mavericks will earn their first run on the fielder's choice. Takes us to Dane Frazier now with 2 outs and runners at first and third for the Mavericks as they put a dent in the scoreboard to make it 3-1 Chargers on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Frazier to settle in. Garnis now. And it's too low in the zone. We have ball 1. Frazier reached his first at bat, but was hung at third to finish out the inning. He's got Parker Stevens at third and Sam Busey at first. Garnis ready on the 5 Valley Auto pitcher's mound. Swung on. This one's hard into left field. That's going to bring Stevens home. And runners at first and second with 2 outs, and the Mavericks pull within 1 run to make it 3-2 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard as a designated hitter comes to the plate, and that sends Marr out to the pitcher's mound to check in with Garnis. So Richardson with 2 outs has runners at first and second. Tying run in Busey at second. Here's the Garnis pitch. And Richardson will go ahead and they'll say strike 1, checking with our field umpire. And I was not able to get the umpires' names ahead of time, so I apologize. Here's the pitch. Swung on. This one's high into left field. Left fielder's back on the back pedal, hops backwards, puts it in the glove, and that's a side. Mavericks earn 2, they leave 2, and it's a 1-run game going into the bottom of the second. We'll be back right after this on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Mike's Print and Copy is your locally owned print shop. Whether it's custom letterhead or business cards, Mike and his friendly staff understand that your business is important to you and will make sure that your project is handled in a professional and timely manner. Drop into Mike's Print and Copy to have them take care of your printing needs. Stop by 1503 South Russell or give them a call today at 406-728-3363 to have Mike's Print and Copy take care of your printing needs. Mike's Print and Copy is a proud sponsor of high school sports in Missoula and the surrounding community.
Hockey Wolf and Lacrosse Wolf is Missoula's one-stop shop for all your hockey and lacrosse needs.
Check this out.
It may be warm outside, but you can still take care of your hockey fix in their 1/3 sized indoor rink.
Really? Wow, crazy.
Stop in to 1010 North Avenue West and see what they have in store for your hockey needs. Hockey Wolf and Lacrosse Wolf is a proud sponsor of high school sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton from the Missoula Prep Sports Network as we go to the bottom of the second inning where the Mavericks have made it a 1-run game on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard, 3-2 Great Falls, and it is the bottom of the order to lead things off for the Chargers. Hunter Houck, the left fielder. So it's 9-1-2. Here's the first pitch, and Hangus will have it smacked out. Bay picks it up in the dirt. The throw to first is on target. No, safe as Frazier's not able to keep it in the glove. And that will put a runner on for the Chargers as we swing to the top of the order. As Travis Stouter comes to the plate. So 2 errors for the Mavericks so far. And the first pitch is a ball. Foster with the signal. Houck steps away from first. They'll throw over there. Close, but the runner gets back just in time. And now Houck with pride stripes all over that white jersey. Angus's pitch high into center field. Hill is there. It's in the glove, and that's the first out. Runner at first will hold. Got a little excited there. It's only 1 out as the left-handed batter in Derek Spring comes to the plate. Spring 0 for 1. But earned the first run. And Clausen having to chase it down. As we go to ball 2, runner at first holds. But Spring hit by, no, it was not Spring that was hit by the pitch. It was Richards that was hit by the pitch. This one's high into center field. Hill's going to track it down as it is shallow in the glove, and the runner will hold at first. That's 2 down. And Hangus doing a good job of controlling where that the ball comes off the bat. Keep it in the air. Cale Richards, the designated hitter, now at the plate for the Chargers with 2 outs and a runner at first. And the first pitch over the inside of the plate for strike 1. And we've got action in the bullpen for the Mavericks. There's a coat on whoever's pitching. And this one's going to tag the batter on the hip. So runners at first and second now with 2 outs. And our umpire wants to take a look at the ball. Takes us to the right fielder, number 33, Andrew Paradise. 2 outs now here in the top of the second. with runners at first and second as Paradise steps in 1 for 1 with a run. Here's the Hangus pitch. Swung on, and it's foul. Hydro just not able to get a hand on, or a glove on that one. There was some zing coming off of that one. And I think the little birdies are confused about me being in the booth. They've got these tension wires for the backstop posts. Clausen doing a good job of keeping the ball in front of him. Evens the count out at 1. Josh Lowry in the on-deck circle. Back to the Birds. They've been coming and just hanging out on this wire right outside the window. Almost looks like Dylan Chalmers, and it is Chalmers as he turns sideways and has the coat off. So Dylan Chalmers warming up for the Mavericks. We might see a 2-inning rotation on our pitchers here for the Mavericks. Check swing, that one's off, and they're going to go ahead and let the batter advance, as it was a strike, but Clausen not able to hold on to it, and that will load the bases. As we come to the center fielder, Josh Lowry. Bottom of the second inning. 38 minutes into the game as we had a 1:03 first pitch on a 1 o'clock start time. Here's Hangus. High for a ball. Mavericks work their way out of this. It's the 4, 5, 6 batters scheduled at the top of the third. Pitch on the way. And Hangus will catch the plate, even at 1. For Lowry, 1 for 1 with an RBI, his first at bat. Swung on. This one's going to get by the shortstop. No, Bay's there. The toss to second, and that's the side. No runs earned, but 2 left behind. Mavericks hold on. It's a 1-run game. Top of the third right after this on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Get Montana strong at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition. Montana owned and Montana proud. Your $29 a month Montana Mega Gym. Fuel has premier facilities with the latest equipment, nutrition superstores, high energy classes, refreshing smoothie bars, attentive childcare, expert trainers, and we never close. Best of all, you have access to 6 locations statewide for just $29 a month. That's less than $1 a day. Get Montana strong at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition. Go to clubfuelfitness.com right now to find a Montana location near you.
The Missoula Prep Sports Network is Missoula's home for high school sports, and we need your help. MPSN is looking for local businesses to help us cover our local high school athletes by advertising their business on the Missoula Prep Sports Network. If you know of a business that would be interested in helping the Missoula Prep Sports Network in our coverage of high school sports in the Missoula area, drop us a line by using the Contact Us link at MPSN406.com. MPSN, Missoula's home for Missoula's prep sports heroes.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton from the Missoula Prep Sports Network as we go to the top of the third inning. A 1-run game as the Great Falls Chargers make it 3-2 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. 4, 5, 6 batters on the inning. Heydrich, Hill, and Martin. Heydrich warming up in the on-deck circle as we speak. No doubleheader with Bozeman tomorrow, but the Mavericks will be at home next weekend for a pair of doubleheaders against the Billings Royals. Saturday and Sunday games, but before that, folks, the first weeknight game this Wednesday, Mavericks in Helena to take on the Senators. Senators games were canceled or moved up to a noon time start for today because of the weather that was coming through. Our good friend Jay Scott calling games for the Helena Senators. Always great to see him. He's always got a good story and a laugh or two. Caden Heydrich now stands in the batter's box for the Mavericks to start the third inning. Parker Garnis continues his time on the Five Valley Auto pitcher's mound, and Hydro will blast this one foul down the first base line for strike one. Brendan Hill in the on-deck circle for the Mavericks. Garnis now with the pitch. And Hydro will duck out of the way for ball one. So we're even at one on the count. Here's the pitch by Garnis. Swung on. This one's towards the second baseman. He can't put a glove on it. And Hydro will get on base to start the third inning here for the Mavericks. Takes us to Brendan Hill with one on and no outs. Hill looks down the third base line, Hathaway. The third base coach down there. Hill settles in. The pitch over the plate for strike one. Since the Mavericks are not going to have a game tomorrow, folks, I would encourage you to go on out to the Mount Sentinel Little League field that is just adjacent to the Mavs, as Hill's going to be hit by the pitch, and that'll put runners at first and second with no outs once again, just as it was in the top of the second. Takes us to Thomas Martin, the second baseman. But a very special man is going to have a lifetime dedication, as field number 10 will be dedicated to Max E. Cannon Jr. Bunt laid down. Martin will make his way to first. The throw is there, and that'll be the out, but the sack bunt does its job as runners stand at second and third with one out now for the Mavericks. And we come to Parker Stevens. Dedication happening tomorrow at noon. Of course, they're going to have games starting at 10 in the morning for Little League action. But Cannon, he's been a volunteer with that program for 40 years, an adult volunteer. His very first Legion, or very first baseball game, as Stevens is going to foul this one off for strike one. But his very first experience with baseball, his first game was at field number 10 as a 10-year-old. And how cool is it to have that field now dedicated in his name? It'll be forever Cannon Field number 10. And then they'll have Little League action going on, as that one's over the outside of the plate for strike one. Parker thought about swinging on it, but laid off. And games going on after the dedication over there at the Mount Sentinel Fields. It's just adjacent to Lindbergh Craig Field. And we get ball one. And then they'll have more games going on, and Max is going to umpire the 1 o'clock game that will be on field number 10. And Max, a well-known face, as Parker lets that one go by to even the count at 2. One out with runners at second and third here in the top of the third inning for the Mavericks. Chargers lead 3-2 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Max has always got a smile on his face, and Well, if you ever go into Bob Ward's into the sporting goods section over there, you're going to see his smiling face over there. Always a helpful hand. As we get a full count at 3-2, and that one was, as they say, chin music. Garnis will step off. It's Andrew Clausen in the on-deck circle for the Mavericks. Parker Stevens with a full count. And he'll foul this one. It's going to hop right up over the backstop. Keeps Parker alive at 3-2. We did see Dylan Chalmers warming up in that Maverick bullpen. See if he comes out for this fourth inning coming up, or the bottom of the third coming up, I should say. Wind still pretty heavy left to right across the field. And Stevens fouls that one off the grips. Keeps the batter alive at 3-2. Of course, we'll have our second game coming up about 20 minutes after this one finishes up. Long enough for the Chargers and their staff to turn the field over. Garnis taking a little bit more time between pitches now. And Stevens rockets this one high into left field. Left fielder is back there. And Houck not able to make the catch. There's the tag at third. And the Mavericks will tie it up at 1 with 2 outs and runners at second and third. And Andrew Clausen will come to the plate now for the Mavericks. And Marr going out and discussing the situation with Garnis. Clausen settles in. Clausen 1 for 1. His first at bat. Here's Garnis with the pitch. And Clausen will reach. The first baseman will have it. Throw down the line, and the Mavericks will earn a run. Brendan Hill will make it 4-3. With 2 outs now. In the bottom of the order, Dayton Bay in the box with Parker Stevens at third. And Bay is going to have this one go straight up, and not able to reach it is Marr. And the foul ball will be strike 1 to Bay. Top of the order in the on-deck circle for the Mavericks with 2 outs. Garnis gets the Chargers through this inning. We'll have the 6, 7, 8 batters up for the Chargers in the bottom of the third. Here's the 0-1 by Garnis. And showing bunt. And Stevens has got to dive back into third. Bay now settles in. Here's the pitch. High for a ball. So 1-2 on the count. As we go foul ball, and Bay stays alive, and well, I was wrong. it was today that the field number 10, and it is at Playfair Park. Westside Field's next to us. Thank you, Paul Yarbrough, for correcting me for that Max Cannon dedication as we get a ball. Wrote down the information incorrectly. 2-2 on the count to Bay. Runner at third. And Bay will let it go to get us a full count. Mavericks earned 2 runs so far here in the top of the third. They've had their first lead of the game to make it 4-3 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Here's the pitch. And Bay will continue to battle with the foul tip. Bay 0 for 1. He's going to battle it here. And we get a walk. So Dayton Bay makes his way down the first base line to put runners at first and third for the Mavericks with 2 outs here in the top of the third. And we swing to the top of the order for Missoula to Sam Busey. Busey settles in. Bay at first and Stevens at third, and this one is across. The throw down the first base line, and Bay will get back just in time. Risky, risky. Everybody's heart caught on that one, breath caught on that one. So Sam Busey at the plate for the third time today. And we get an outside pitch for ball 2. Haven't seen any action, and Foster's going to go ahead and come on out and check with Garnis at the plate. That will send Marr out there as well. Haven't seen any action in the bullpen. Well, now I think I see somebody down in the catcher's position. And now you can barely make them out as there's a green fence line down the first baseline to where that bullpen is for the Chargers. And I kind of make out somebody stretching on the band. So we might see a change here for Garnis. He stood tall so far here. So Busey settles in with 2 on and 2 outs. Here's the first pitch. And it's behind Busey for ball 1. And this one's going to be way out into center field. Center field searching for it. It's going to bounce and roll. Stevens is around. They're going to bring Bay around. Here comes Busey to third, and Busey will stand up at third and have a 2-run triple for the Mavericks. Busey with a shot into center field. And Josh Lowry played up a little bit on that one, and it got behind him. As we come to Dane Frazier. But of the 64 pitches thrown by Garnis, 38 of them have found their way across the plate. So with 2 outs, and now we do have somebody throwing, as Frazier's going to ping this one backwards. Foul to even us out at 1. Sam Busey with a good shot out into center field. And if you can hit that thing up into the atmosphere with the way the wind's blowing, good luck for the outfielders for either team. Over the plate for strike 2. Got a good breeze going left to right here at Century Field. Parker Garnis on the mound, the 5 Valley Auto pitcher's mound, as Frazier's going to have this one off the roof to the right of us. Keeps him alive at 1-2. Busey standing at third after a nice little triple. As Frazier will plunk this one, foul. And I don't have numbers down the first or third base line here at Century Field, but center field to the wall, if you could make it out where the growth over it in center field is 415. Here's the pitch. And a good job by Frazier to let that one go. Evens us out at 2. And it looks like a number 4, Logan Houston, warming up in the bullpen for the Chargers. Here's the Garnis pitch. And that one's going to be in front of the plate. Gives us a full count at 3-2. And Garnis is going to go ahead and come up and take the short toss. So it looks as though Logan Houston warming up for the Chargers. We saw Dylan Chalmers in the bullpen for the Mavericks a little bit ago. Here's the pitch. And he reaches for it. It's going to roll out. Picked up by the second baseman. Throw to first is on time, on target, and that's the side. So the Mavericks earn 4 here in the third to take a 6-3 lead. We'll be back with the Great Falls Chargers portion right after this on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Locally owned Paradise Falls is a place for friends and family to enjoy good food and good times, with a diverse menu and a fun atmosphere that includes nearly 30 TVs showing every sport imaginable. Paradise Falls is sure to have something for everyone.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton from the Missoula Prep Sports Network as we go to the bottom of the third inning. Missoula Mavericks lead 6-3 over the Great Falls Chargers. And a change on the mound. Now standing on the 5 Valley Auto pitcher's mound is Dylan Chalmers. So trying to take a look at pitcher stats here. I'm using the iScore system to keep up with, as that's what the Mavericks use for their stats. And I'm still learning here, trying to figure out how to pick up pitching stats. So leading off for the Chargers, it's the bottom of the order, 6, 7, 8 batters. Tyler Marr, the catcher, to lead off. It's Marr, McNamee, and Stevens. And the right-handed batter will come up. And Dylan Chalmers will have his first pitch of the game. And Chalmers cranking it inside. And a good job by Marr to be patient at the plate. And Chalmers will walk the batter to start the inning. So the first baseman will come to the plate in Cam McNamee. Left-handed batter, looks down the line, Foster with the signal. Marr at first, steps away. And Chalmers will find the edge of the plate for strike one. Bottom of the third, as Chalmers will slide it right over the spot, same spot as the first pitch for strike two. Mavericks lead 6-3 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Dylan Chalmers on the Five Valley Auto pitcher's mound, as this one's going to be bounced out. Martin will pick it up. It'll hop between the legs of Martin, and the runner will get on off of the air. Takes us to Chaz Stevens now for Great Falls with one on. Or runners at first and second, I should say, and no outs. And the heater by Chalmers is low for ball one. And Clausen's going to go ahead and speak with his pitcher, giving Stevens a chance to go down and talk to Foster, and Clausen's going to win the race back to the plate. Stevens today 0 for 1. He did play that first weekend. This one's fouled back at us to even it out at 1. Jazz got in on that second game. Went 0 for 1, but earned himself an RBI. Here's Chalmers now with the 1-1 pitch. And we get ball 2. Chalmers, in my book, top 3 pitcher for the Mavericks. I'd say it'd probably go Chalmers, Hill, and Frazier. As we get another ball inside. 3-1. And really, at that number 3 spot, it could be Parker Stevens as well. From the returners. Can't really say, as this one's fouled off to give us a full count at 3-2. Connor Daniels racing for the bounce on the ball. Really haven't seen that much out of the new pitchers coming up from the A squad and moving up on the Mavericks AA level. But of the returners, that would be my order. Swung on, and Dylan Chalmers will have a strikeout on the Dilly Dillies sound below. Brings us to the bottom of the order for the Chargers and Hunter Houck, the left fielder. Runners at first and second with 1 out. And Stevens will put it over the outside of the plate on the left-handed batter. And that's where he was tossing him on McNamee. Here's the 0-1. And Clausen will have to come out of the stirrups on the ball pitch. Bottom of the third. Hour and 7 minutes into the game as Chalmers will skid over the outside of the plate to go 1-2 on the count now. Runners at first and second with one out. Chalmers striking out the last at batter. Swung on, and he's done swinging. And that's out number 2. Swings us to the top of the order for Great Falls in Travis Studer. Oh for 2 is the leadoff batter. And Chalmers will have a low pitch for ball 1. Looks as though Houston is done in the bullpen for Great Falls, so we'll see if he makes the switch at the top of the 4th as an inside pitch by Chalmers makes it 2-0. Smacked hard, and this one's going to roll out to Busey. That will load the bases for Great Falls with 2 outs. We come to Derek Spring now, the shortstop for Great Falls. Mavericks lead 6-3 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Chargers in play here to make that change, and Chalmers will put it over the outside of the plate on the left-handed batter for strike 1. Loaded bases for Great Falls with 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 3rd. And Chalmers trying to get that mark once again, but just off to even us out at 1. This one's foul. Puts Chalmers ahead in the count at 1-2. And Connor Daniels is going to come out and snag that one as well. Chalmers not liking the first pitch. He's going to wave off the second as well. Doesn't like the third. Now we get a nod from Chalmers, and time is called by Spring. And we get a ball pitch. Swung on. This one's going to be out to the short or to second baseman. Martin will pick it up, and the throw to first. Not in time. Throw to second and a tag, and they'll punch him out on the rebound. Chargers get 1, but leave 2. We'll be back right after this on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Stitches of Missoula is your resource for embroidery and screen printing. Give Stitches a call today at 406-529-2632 to speak with their super friendly staff and have them take care of your embroidery needs. From business logos to team jerseys, Stitches Embroidery can help you and your team look good. Check them out online at stitchesmontana.com to see their full line of silkscreen and embroidery options. Stitches is a proud sponsor of Prep Sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Hockey Wolf and Lacrosse Wolf is Missoula's one-stop shop for all your hockey and lacrosse needs.
Check this out.
It may be warm outside, but you can still take care of your hockey fix in their 1/3 sized indoor rink.
Really? Wow, crazy.
Stop in to 1010 North Avenue West and see what they have in store for your hockey needs. Hockey Wolf and Lacrosse Wolf is a proud sponsor of high school sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton from the Missoula Prep Sports Network. We've got a change for Great Falls as Josh Bandrub is now on the Five Valley Auto pitcher's mound for Great Falls. Mar into his gear behind the plate. So Garnis is done. Both sides making a change on the bump. And the Chargers getting one back from the Mavericks to make it 6-4 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Leading off for the Mavericks, it is the 3-4-5 batters as it's Richardson, Heydrich, and Hill. The DH, Trad Richardson, in the on-deck circle. Throw to second to indicate the start of the inning. As our official will clean the plate off, and Richardson will come to the plate. Mavericks looking to take two away on their road trip. Here's the pitch. And that one will skip across the ground. Mar will hold on to it. And we get ball one. It's Josh Bandrub on the Five Valley pitcher's mound, and that one is close to the shins of Richardson for ball two. Caden Heydrich, the third baseman, in the on-deck circle for the Mavericks. And Richardson will swing for strike one. Trad, a Frenchtown High School athlete. As we get another high pitch to put Richardson in the lead at 3-1. And Richardson will be walked to start the inning. Brings up Hydro. Caden Heydrich to the plate now for the Mavericks. Richardson at first with no outs. Here's the Bandrub pitch. And Mar will have to block it down for ball one. Puts Brendan Hill in the on-deck circle for the Mavericks. Here's the pitch. And it'll catch the plate to even us out at 1. Mavericks doubleheader in Bozeman tomorrow has been canceled, but the Mavericks will be back in action on Wednesday night as they head back out on the road to take on the Helena Senators. And that'll be a fun one. And another high pitch to get ball two. Go over and visit our friend Jay Scott, who has been doing the Senator games this year with the new network he is with. As Heydrich's going to foul this one off to even us out at 2. Jay Scott has been involved with sports for a long time in a variety of ways. He's been an umpire, coached, and does play-by-play. Unlike the voice of the Missoula Mavericks, Paul Yarbrough, who has done all of the above as well. And Hydro will be struck out for out number 1. Taking us to Brendan Hill. So 1 down, 1 on here in the top of the 4th. Mavericks lead 6-4 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Great Falls bringing in Banderob. And he has been doing his job in the first couple of batters as he slides this one over the plate for strike 1. Did walk Richardson. But that's in Legion baseball, that's not uncommon. Coming out of a inning, you've had some time to warm up in the bullpen. Probably have had to sit for a few moments, waiting for an inning to get out. Richardson's going to go ahead and make his way to second as Marr is not able to hold on to the ball. And we're even at 1 on the count. Brendan Hill. 0 for 1 with a run so far today. Vanderrob likes the pitch and now will stretch. And Hill lets it go for ball 2. Hill last year was fun to watch. We went to the tournament in Rapid City, and well, over that weekend, it was his mom's birthday. Well, his mom got a special birthday wish as Hill would have a pair of doubles and a triple, as this one's popped backwards. Evens us out at 2. I believe he had an RBI in that game as well. He's one of the athletes that I really enjoy watching. Outstanding slot receiver for the Sentinel Spartan football program. As we get a full count now to Hill. And Marr's going to go out and check in with his pitcher as we go full at 3-2. No movement in either bullpen. Second game of our doubleheader will come up about 20 minutes after this one finishes up, as we are an hour and 19 minutes into this one in the bottom or top of the 4th. And many of you sports fans that are familiar with Missoula Prep Sports, as Hill will be struck out for out number 2, is that Hill is a phenomenal, you probably heard him talked about with football and baseball, but his freshman year he played basketball for Sentinel, and that guy is a sneaky point guard. Here comes Thomas Martin now for the Mavericks with 2 out. And Richardson at second, and they're going to say strike 1 on the check swing. (6-4) on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Mavericks in charge. Chargers will have their 3, 4, 5 batters on the next inning. And Vanderob with a dirty pitch to get strike 2. Vanderob coming in this inning, taking over for Parker Garnis. And Martin will be struck out to end the side. So Richardson is left at second. We go to the bottom of the 4th right after this. You're listening to Missoula Prep Sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
The Missoula Prep Sports Network is Missoula's home for high school sports, and we need your help. MPSN is looking for local businesses to help us cover our local high school athletes by advertising their business on the Missoula Prep Sports Network. If you know of a business that would be interested in helping the Missoula Prep Sports Network in our coverage of high school sports in the Missoula area, drop us a line by using the Contact Us link at MPSN406.com. MPSN, Missoula's home for Missoula's Prep Sports heroes.
Mike's Print and Copy is your locally owned print shop. Whether it's custom letterhead or business cards, Mike and his friendly staff understand that your business is important to you and will make sure that your project is handled in a professional and timely manner. Drop into Mike's Print and Copy to have them take care of your printing needs. Stop by 1503 South Russell or give them a call today at 406-728-3363 to have Mike's Print and Copy take care of your printing needs. Mike's Print and Copy is a proud sponsor of high school sports in Missoula and the surrounding community. Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton in Great Falls, Montana at Century Field. Missoula Mavericks in a doubleheader. First game with the Great Falls Chargers. Mavericks up 6-4 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard as we have the bottom of the fourth inning. It is the 3-4-5 batters for Great Falls. Richards, Paradise, and Lowry. Cale Richards, the designated hitter, in the ready. Dylan Chalmers on the Five Valley Auto pitcher's mound, his second inning of action, as he would come in for Hangus. Pitched very well in the first two innings. And Chalmers' first pitch of the inning will be just inside on ball one. And Chalmers likes to ride, as this one is hit high. It's going to be out of play and come down on top of the Voyagers office building for strike one. Richardson's going to come out and pick that one up from the crowd, as that one had people diving as it recoiled off the roof. This one's bounced out. Hydro will have it on the hop. The throw to first is on target, on time, and the Mavericks will take out the first batter of the inning, which takes us to the right fielder, number 33, Andrew Paradise. And Paradise will settle in with one out and nobody on. Bottom of the fourth, Mavericks lead 6-4. Here's the Chalmers pitch. And this one's off the middle of the bat into Hydro's glove, and Hydro not able to get a good handle on it. And the runner will get on off of the air. Center fielder Josh Lowry now to the plate for the Chargers. One out, one on. That's 4 errors now for the Mavericks, 1 for Great Falls. And updates now to 5. And the pitch to Lowry inside for a ball. Puts Tyler Marr in the on-deck circle for Great Falls. Here's the 1-0. Fouled back. Evens us out at 1. Billings will be the site for the AA tournament this year. MPSN, I will be there in Billings. Florence, the site of the A state tournament, as this one's tossed in to hold the runner at first. Coleman Caton will be the voice of that tournament. We'll have both right here on MPSN. Clausen's got to dig for that one to make it 2-1 on the count. Dylan Chalmers. 31 pitches, 32 as it updates in front of me, 17 of which have been strikes. Runner at first, 1 out. And Chalmers will get it over the plate for a strike. Full count now to the center fielder. Catcher Tyler Marr in the on-deck circle. Lowry 1 for 2 with an RBI. Runner's going to go, and this one's fouled off. So Foster sending the runner at first on the swing. Lowry settles in. Chalmers will throw to first. Just a hair behind on the throw. Runner's going to go, swung out. Here's the throw, and this one's going to go all the way out into center field. So runner will get the base at second. And Chalmers will strike out the batter for out number 2 when we come to the catcher, number 424, Tyler Marr. Marr takes a deep breath before he steps in. And Chalmers will be low for a ball. The catcher is 0 for 1 with a run and an RBI on the day. This one's going to be bounced out, and they're going to call that one foul to get a strike 1. Game 2 is going to come up here in about 20 minutes after this one finishes up, as we are scheduled for 7 innings. And then the Mavericks will get I shouldn't say a free day tomorrow. There's never really a free day. But with the doubleheaders canceled for Bozeman tomorrow because of the weather. This one sent into right field. Parker Stevens will let it get it on the hop. Runner's going to come home from second, and it's now a 1-run game. As I put the run on the Mavericks side. It's now 6-5 with a runner at first and 2 outs. And we come to the first baseman, Cam McNamee. And Coach Foster making the switch. He's not going to be the third base coach anymore, as he makes a run into the clubhouse. Chalmers is going to toss it over the plate for strike 1 to the left-handed batter in McNamee. 2 down, 1 on, and a runner, and so far here in the bottom of the 4th, as this one's fouled off for strike 2. Left-hander settles back in. Marr steps away from first. Chalmers with the stretch. Swung on off the toe of Clausen. They will pass ball, and that will be the side. So 1 earned, 1 left behind, and the Chargers make it a 6-5 game. Mavericks in the lead. Top of the 5th right after this on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Have you recently found yourself in a situation where you need a lawyer? Give our friends at Tip Coburn & Associates a call today. They have been practicing injury, employment, and criminal defense in addition to other areas of law for the past 60 years. Give Tip Coburn & Associates a call today at 406-549-5186 or stop by their website at www.tipcoburnandassociates.com. Tip Coburn & Associates, lawyers fighting for Montana since 1959 and proud sponsors of Missoula Prep Sports on MPSN.
Advertising on the web can be intimidating. Where do you start? What is the most effective way to reach the audience you are targeting? Milk Crate Media can help you reach your audience, whether it is social media marketing or creating a unique commercial for streaming or for radio advertising. Milk Crate Media can help you build a new website or rebuild your existing website that will bring users back again and again. Visit www.mcratemedia.com today. Milk Crate Media is a proud sponsor of Prep Sports in Missoula and the surrounding valley.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton for the Missoula Prep Sports Network at Century Field in Great Falls, Montana, where the weather is holding off and allowing us to get some baseball in. Legion season underway. Missoula Mavericks taking on the Great Falls Chargers. This is the third game of the season between the two teams. Great Falls opened up against the Mavericks. And that was split. We now have a change in the lineup. 7, 8, 9 batters scheduled, and Connor Daniels is going to come in and bat in the place of Parker Stevens. It's Josh Banderob on the Five Valley Auto pitcher's mound for the Chargers. And I haven't seen Foster come out of the clubhouse here as we get ball one to the lefty for the Mavericks. Andrew Clausen in the on-deck circle for the Mavericks as we go to ball two. And we go 3-0 now to the catcher. Clausen's mom, the new president of the Missoula Mavericks, Ginger Clausen. And Connor Daniels will be walked to start the inning for the Mavericks. Takes us to Andrew Clausen. The catcher. Clausen, 1 for 2 with an RBI on the day. Here's the pitch. And it's going to bounce in front of the plate. Marr's going to make the throw to second, but Connor Daniels is there, safe. One 1-0 on the count as our umpire will clean the plate off. Top of 5 on a 7-inning game. Game 1 of the doubleheader. Connor Daniels is at second with no outs. And a high pitch to Clausen makes it 2-0. Josh Banderob. And we do have a new pitcher stretching in the bullpen for Great Falls, using the rubber, as Clausen will foul this one off for strike one. And it's just the green fencing is, chain link fence is just enough where you cannot see the number on the individual. Now he's going to run back to the dugout here, so maybe it's just a false alarm. High pitch gets us to 3-1 on the count. Here's Banderob. Clausen will punch this one straight up in the air. Marr's going to try to get to it, but it's going to be in the glove. Daniels will hold at second, and that's the first out here in the top of the fifth. Takes us to Dayton Bay, the shortstop. Daniels takes his lead. And now the pitch. And we get ball 1. And it looks like we are going to have somebody warm up for Great Falls. Banderob puts that one over the plate for strike 1. 2 Bay. And we do have a catcher down there in the bullpen and a young man for Great Falls stretching out. So Banderob might have his session here cut short as we get ball 2. 1 out. Connor Daniel at second. Bay is going to let that one go to ball 3. So Dayton Bay at the plate, and the top of the order, Sam Busey in the on-deck circle. Here's the Banderob pitch, and we'll have runners at first and second for the Mavericks with 1 out on the walk. Swings this to the top of the order. The left fielder, Sam Busey now, as pitching coach is going to come out, and Foster has not returned from the clubhouse. Hope he's all right. As the pitching coach will come out and discuss things with Banderob. You know, folks, it's starting to get nice. Springtime, 1st of May. Well, that means that we're going to be heading out. Maybe you're going to be going on the road with the Mavericks on Wednesday night. We should stop and see our friends over at Fast Trip Conoco. They'll be your one-stop shop for your most convenient gas pumps to full stock of favorite drinks and the coldest ice in town. Want to make a car look good before you go on the road? Well, run it through the Magic Touch Car Wash, conveniently located in the parking lot. Fast Trip Conoco, a proud sponsor of high school sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network, and this pitch is going to be inside on Busey for ball 1. Busey 1 for 3 with 3 RBIs today. And he'll reach for that one for strike 1. Nice job by Banderob to put that outside on the right-handed batter. Not quite, but Busey almost had to reach for that one. And that one will be outside. Busey will let it go for ball 2. Here's the pitch. And Busey, patience, makes it 3-1. Here's the pitch. And that will load the bases for the Mavericks with 1 out. As Busey gets walked, and we come to the first baseman, Dane Frazier. So Busey at first, Bay at second, and Daniels at third, 1 out. Here's the pitch to Frazier. And that'll be ball. So Great Falls hoping to get through here. They do have a young man warming up. And I'm not quite able to make out the number. I'm going to dig my binoculars out. I didn't prep the binoculars today as we get one over the plate for strike 1. Which is dangerous whenever I rely on my old eyes to see what really is going on. Here's Banderob with the 1-1. And it makes it ball 2. And it looks like a 0-0 in Keaton Clark down there for the Chargers. Inside pitch, 3-1 now. Frazier steps in. Trad Richardson in the on-deck circle. 1 out on the board. And this one's going to be popped up high. Marr's going to get to it. Is it going to be in play? It is. And Marr will have a pop out for out number 2. Brings us to the designated hitter, Trad Richardson. Loaded bases. And actually, no. Coming in now is Bridger Johnston to bat in the place of Richardson. And that one's going to get away from Marr. That's going to bring Daniels home from third. Rotates the players around the bases, and the Mavericks earn a run without a hit. 7-5 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. With 2 outs. Top of 5 on a 7-inning game. Here's the pitch by Vanderrob. High for a ball. And I would assume that the Chargers would like to get through this inning before they bring in the new pitcher. Just to let Vanderrob finish it out, as this one's going to be fouled backwards by Johnson. Gets Vanderrob into the count at 2-1. Caden Heydrich in the on-deck circle for the Mavericks. Runners at second and third. Inside pitch gets ball 3. It's the bottom of the order for the Chargers in the bottom of the 5th. 8-9-1 scheduled. As this one's fouled off to get us a full count at 3-2. Maverick faithful down below and to the left of me as the Mavericks have the third base dugout. Vanderrob with the pitch now. And a walk to load the bases. I thought we might have seen a visit here with Heydrich coming out to bat. But Great Falls, there it is. Here comes Foster. And I imagine we are going to see a change. There's the ball handed over. We'll have a change on the mound right after this. You're listening to Missoula Mavericks Baseball on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Have you recently found yourself in a situation where you need a lawyer? Give our friends at Tip Coburn & Associates a call today. They have been practicing injury, employment, and criminal defense in addition to other areas of law for the past 60 years. Give Tip Coburn & Associates a call today at 406-549-5186 or stop by their website at www.tipcoburnandassociates.com. Tip Coburn & Associates, lawyers fighting for Montana since 1959 and proud sponsors of Missoula Prep Sports on MPSN. The Missoula Prep Sports Network is Missoula's home for high school sports, and we need your help. MPSN is looking for local businesses to help us cover our local high school athletes by advertising their business on the Missoula Prep Sports Network. If you know of a business that would be interested in helping the Missoula Prep Sports Network in our coverage of high school sports in the Missoula area, drop us a line by using the Contact Us link at mpsn406.com. MPSN, Missoula's home for Missoula's Prep Sports heroes.
Get Montana strong at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition. Montana owned and Montana proud. Your $29 a month Montana Mega Gym. Fuel has premier facilities with the latest equipment, nutrition superstores, high energy classes, refreshing smoothie bars, attentive childcare, expert trainers, and we never close. Best of all, you have access to 6 locations statewide for just $29 a month. That's less than $1 a day. Get Montana strong at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition. Go to clubfuelfitness.com right now to find a Montana location near you.
Warning.
Fast Trip Conoco and Magic Touch Car Wash are at it again. They've taken what was already the best wash in town, the best value in town, and made it even better. Now whenever you gas up your rig at Fast Trip Conoco, you can clean it up for half price. Yeah, you heard that right. When you fuel up your car at Fast Trip Conoco, you can get any wash at Magic Touch Car Wash for half price.
Warning. This is not a drill.
It's the Gas It Up, Clean It Up special at Fast Trip Conoco and Magic Touch Car Wash, on reserve across from Large Pond.
Half price wash only valid when purchased at the pump or in Fast Trip Conoco.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton in Great Falls, Montana at Century Field as the Missoula Mavericks lead the Great Falls Chargers 7-5 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. And a change on the Five Valley Autos pitcher's mound as Keaton Clark has come in with Caden Heydrich at the plate to bat. Heydrich 1 for 3 with a ground out, a single, and a strikeout. He's got a run under his belt as well. Here's the Clark pitch, and it's outside for a ball. The Mavericks have loaded the bases. With 2 outs. Brendan Hill stands in the on-deck circle for the Mavericks as the wind continues to blow left to right here in Great Falls. High pitch, ball 2. Mavericks able to earn runs in the second, third, and fourth innings as well, the second and third innings as well as this 5th inning. 2 in the second, 4 in the third. The Chargers loaded runs on in the first and then put 1 on in the third and 1 on in the fourth as Hydro will foul this one off for strike 1. We've got Bridger Johnson at first, Sam Busey at second, and Dayton Bay at third. 2 outs on the board. It's a 2-1 count. Or a 1-2 count as I'm backwards. Now we go even at 2. Runners take their leads. Clark in the stretch. And we'll get a full count to Heydrich. Hathaway given the signal. We'll see runners go on the pitch. Clark now in the stretch. And this one's down the third base line. They're going to throw it to first for the out, the hop, the tag on the base, and that's the side. So the Mavericks earn 1, they'll leave 3 behind. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. Missoula 7, Great Falls 5. You're listening to Mavericks Baseball on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Locally owned Paradise Falls is a place for friends and family to enjoy good food and good times. With a diverse menu and a fun atmosphere that includes nearly 30 TVs showing every sport imaginable, Paradise Falls is sure to have something for everyone.
Get Montana strong at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition. Montana owned and Montana proud. Your $29 a month Montana Mega Gym. Fuel has premier facilities with the latest equipment, nutrition superstores, high energy classes, refreshing smoothie bars, attentive childcare, expert trainers, and we never close. Best of all, you have access to 6 locations statewide for just $29 a month. That's less than $1 a day. Get Montana strong at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition. Go to clubfuelfitness.com right now to find a Montana location near you.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton from the Missoula Prep Sports Network. Bottom of the 5th inning where the Missoula Mavericks lead the Great Falls Chargers 7-5 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Dylan Chalmers on the 5 Valley Auto pitcher's mound, and it is the bottom of the order, 8-9-1. Stevens, Hauk, and Stouter for... And it looks like we will have a change in the lineup as Brennan Clements is going to bat in the 8th spot for Stevens. So Chalmers will have a new batter to face here. And the first pitch is swung on, fouled off for strike 1. Let's check Clements from that first matchup as we go. Didn't switch the sides. Even on the count, bottom of the 5th. First batter, ball 2. And it looks like he did not bat as we get an even count at 2 on the strike pitch. Clements did not participate in that first meeting. This one's going to be over the head. Parker Stevens will put it in the glove, and that's out number 1. That one came off the bat on a string right to Parker Stevens. Connor Daniels out there in right field, I should say, not Parker Stevens. As we come to the bottom of the order, Hunter Hauk. And I wonder, as we see individuals, first pitch is a strike to the left fielder. As we have individuals in the bullpen for the Mavericks. There's a coat on, so cannot see a number. As we go even at 1 to Hauk. And it's over the plate for strike 2. Top of the order in the on-deck circle, Travis Stouter. And he'll stay alive as he gets a little contact on that one. But I'm curious, with Parker Stevens coming off and Connor Daniels moving in, if we might see Parker Stevens pitch in this second game coming up. Swung on, and it's a strikeout for out number 2. Swings us to the top of the order for the Great Falls Chargers. To their first baseman, Travis Stouter. 2 down, nobody on. And this one's high into center field. Hill is on his bike riding out there, and he's got it in the glove on the dive. Brendan Hill with the save to end the side. Top of the 6th, right after this on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Have you recently found yourself in a situation where you need a lawyer? Give our friends at Tip Coburn & Associates a call today. They have been practicing injury, employment, and criminal defense in addition to other areas of law for the past 60 years. Give Tip Coburn & Associates a call today at 406-549-5186 or stop by their website at www.tipcoburnandassociates.com. Tip Coburn & Associates, lawyers fighting for Montana since 1959 and proud sponsors of Missoula Prep Sports on MPSN.
Get Montana strong at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition. Montana owned and Montana proud. Your $29 a month Montana Mega Gym. Fuel has premier facilities with the latest equipment, nutrition superstores, high energy classes, refreshing smoothie bars, attentive childcare, expert trainers, and we never close. Best of all, you have access to 6 locations statewide for just $29 a month. That's less than $1 a day. Get Montana strong at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition. Go to clubfuelfitness.com right now to find a Montana location near you.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton in Great Falls, Montana at Century Field, where the Missoula Mavericks have a 7-5 lead on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard over the Great Falls Chargers. As we hit the top of the 6th inning, and it is the 5, 6, 7 batters scheduled up here on the inning, with the man that saved the side on the last half inning, Brendan Hill, leading off. So Hill, Martin, and Daniels scheduled on the inning. And we've got a jersey off, and it is actually Stuart Long in the bullpen for the Mavericks. We'll see if Dylan Chalmers is going to finish out this game. It is currently Keaton Clark on the 5 Valley Auto pitcher's mound for Great Falls. There's the throw to second. And that means it's time for Hill to bat. So Hill ready at the plate. Clark, foot on the rubber. Here's the first pitch of the inning. And Hill will be tagged to put the runner on. And that quickly takes us to Thomas Martin. Thomas having a unique experience last year as he got to play at the AA level with his brother James, who is playing some great baseball for the Miles City Community College, or Miles Community College, as this one's fouled back into Martin for strike 1. James having a birthday, I believe it was yesterday. Here's the pitch by Clark. And that one's in the dirt. Hill's going to go ahead and take the base. So the Mavericks will have a runner at second now, with no outs. Martin now ready at the plate. And he'll crank this one foul down the third base line for strike 2. Connor Daniels in the on-deck circle for the Mavericks. Hill at second. Clark now ready with the pitch. And Thomas Martin will be struck out swinging. One down. Brings up the left-handed batter, and Connor Daniels. Here's the pitch. Hill's going to go. The throw down the third base line is wide, and it's going to roll deep. Hill's going to make his way down, and Brendan Hill will score for the Mavericks. 8-5 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. And the pitch thrown was a ball. The boys got wheels. I expect to see him be one of the top steal bases stolen guys, as Daniels is going to pop this one down the third base line, and it'll land in the dugout. As Thomas Martin puts it in the glove out there for strike one. So with Connor Daniels in the box, that puts Andrew Clausen, the catcher, and it actually can't see. It's Drew Stensrud. And the off-speed pitch will be ball 2. So 2-1 on the count. Bases have been cleared off of the Hill steal and the error by the third baseman. And Daniels will foul this one off. And we still have Stuart Long warming up in the Maverick bullpen. Top of 6. Mavericks extending their lead 8-5 off of the Hill run. 1 out. Here's the pitch. And Daniels will put this one into the gut of the first baseman, and the race is won by McNamee. And that will be out number 2. Brings us up to Drew Stensrud, batting in the place of Clausen. So with Stensrud batting in place of the catcher, as we get ball 1, trying to look down into the dugout to see who has got the gear on now. And it looks like Dane Frazier. So Dane Frazier getting a little time behind the plate as we get a pitch over the plate for strike 1. And I had heard some rumors that Daners wanted to catch this year. And he did in that first series against Great Falls. And Stensrud's going to send this one into center field. And his first at-bat of the day will be a hit for the Mavericks with 2 outs. And we come to the bottom of the order for the Mavericks in Dayton Bay, with 2 outs and Stensrud at first. Clark now getting the pitch. Checks Stensrud at first. Bunt laid down. This is going to roll out. Picked up by Clark. The throw to first is on time. They'll punch him out, and that's the side. Mavericks earn 2. Make it 8-5. We'll have the Chargers portion of the 6th right after this. You're listening to Missoula Maverick Baseball on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Fast Trip Conoco and Magic Touch Car Wash are at it again. They've taken what was already the best wash in town, the best value in town, and made it even better. Now whenever you gas up your rig at Fast Trip Conoco, you can clean it up for half price. Yeah, you heard that right. When you fuel up your car at Fast Trip Conoco, you can get any wash at Magic Touch Car Wash for half price.
Warning, this is not a drill.
It's the Gas It Up, Clean It Up special at Fast Trip Conoco and Magic Touch Car Wash, on reserve across from Large Pond.
Half-price wash only valid when purchased at the pump or in Fast Trip Conoco.
Stitches of Missoula is your resource for embroidery and screen printing. Give Stitches a call today at 406-529-2632 to speak with their super friendly staff and have them take care of your embroidery needs. From business logos to team jerseys, Stitches Embroidery can help you and your team look good. Check them out online at stitchesmontana.com to see their full line of silkscreen and embroidery options. Stitches is a proud sponsor of Prep Sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton from the Missoula Prep Sports Network as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and we do have a change on the field. Stuart Long is now on the 5 Valley Auto pitchers mound. Dane Frazier behind the plate at catcher, and it is Drew Stensrud at first. So that is your changes made in the last half inning. And leading off for the Chargers on the inning, it should be the top of the order. No, it will be Derek Spring. So 2, 3, 4 scheduled on the inning for the Chargers. They need to put some runs together. Mavericks able to put runs on in all innings except for the first and the fourth. They would put 2 on in the second, 4 on in the third, and 1 apiece in the fifth and sixth. The Chargers, they've earned 3 runs in the first, 1 in the third, and 1 in the fourth. Mavericks have their 8 runs off of 8 hits, but they have committed 5 errors. The Chargers have 5 runs off of 6 hits, and they've committed 2. Spring in the box now, left-handed batter, as the first pitch by Long. And it's just outside for ball 1. Spring showing a little threat of bunt. Cale Richards, actually number 1. Cale Richards, the designated hitter in the on-deck circle for the Chargers. Here's the pitch. Catches the plate, and I think that's where Long was trying to go in that first pitch. Pitch on the way, swung on. This one's going to roll out. Martin will pick it up on the fringe, the throw to first, and that is the first out of the inning. As we come to the DH, Cale Richards. 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of 6. Mavericks lead 8-5 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. No action in either bullpen. Here's the long pitch. Comes inside, strike 1 on the right-handed batter. For Spring. Waiting for the system to update here as we get ball 1. There we go, Cale Richards. 0 for 1 has been hit by 2 pitches and a ground ball. As we get ball 2. He's got a run as well. Long will go to 3-1 on the count on the pitch. Despite the clouds, it's really turning out to be a nice day here in Great Falls. We'll hold off on too much commentary on the weather, though, as it is Montana and things can change very quickly. As we go to a full count on the foul ball. I mean, the American flag in center field has been at full attention for most of the day, but anyone that is from Montana or has ever been to Great Falls knows that, well, the wind blows here in Great Falls. As the outside pitch will walk the batter. So 1 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. As we move to Andrew Paradise, the right fielder. And, well, In my book, that's a perfect name for a sports athlete. Andrew Paradise. Rolls off the tongue nicely as we get ball one. Showing bunt was Paradise. Pitch on the way. Fouled off the knuckle for strike one. And these Great Falls Chargers, some of these boys go to Great Falls High, who played for a third place spot. Ended up taking fourth to Billings West as the runner's going to go. Here's Frazier with the throw, and it's going to get by Martin. Runner will get the base. Frazier throw on target, but with the runner sliding in on the bounce, I think that threw off Martin just a little bit. 2-1 on the count now. One out. Runner at second for the Chargers. It's Stuart Long on the Five Valley Auto pitcher's mound. Swung on for strike two. Good group of Maverick fans, Maverick faithful here, Charger fans, all settled in here as we go to a full count. Frazier's got to chase the ball down, keeps it in front of him though. And as I said at the top, with the pitchers, we're going to see a good rotation for these first few weeks, but also putting some of these guys into positions just to see, with Dane Frazier behind the plate at the catcher, inside to walk the batter. So Long with back-to-back walks with one out. Brings us to Josh Lowry now for Great Falls, center fielder. Long settles in. Pitch on the way. Outside for ball one. So Paradise at first off the walk, with Richards at second off the walk. One out. And a catch on the plate for strike one. For Lowry, he's 1 for 3. A single, a ground out, and was struck out swinging his last at bat. He's got an RBI as well. Low pitch is ball two. Runners take their leads at first and second. Long will watch him. Time is called by Lowry. Here's the pitch. Catches the plate for strike two to even it out. Pitch on the way. And that one's off the knee of Frazier. The runners will advance to second and third. Full count now. 3-2 with one out. Runners at second and third. Long in the stretch. And foul back. Keeps Lowry alive. So the Mavericks will not go to Bozeman tomorrow, as that doubleheader was canceled due to weather. They'll be in Helena on Wednesday night. and then a homestand against the Royals Saturday and Sunday. MPSN will have coverage of all of those games, and Long will strike out Lowry for out number 2. Takes us to the catcher, Tyler Marr. So with runners at second and third, there's 2 outs now in the bottom of the 6th. Mavericks have the lead 8-5 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Here's the long pitch over the plate for strike 1. For Marr, as we wait for the stats to update, he's going to hit this one into center field. Hill is there, searches for it in the clouds. It's high in the glove, and that's the side. So Great Falls is able to put a couple on, but they leave them all behind. It's 8-5 Mavericks, top of the 7th. Coming up right after this on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Mike's Print and Copy is your locally owned print shop. Whether it's custom letterhead or business cards, Mike and his friendly staff understand that your business is important to you and will make sure that your project is handled in a professional and timely manner. Drop into Mike's Print and Copy to have them take care of your printing needs. Stop by 1503 South Russell or give them a call today at 406-728-3363 to have Mike's Print and Copy take care of your printing needs. Mike's Print and Copy is a proud sponsor of high school sports in Missoula and the surrounding community.
Hockey Wolf and Lacrosse Wolf is Missoula's one-stop shop for all your hockey and lacrosse needs.
Check this out.
It may be warm outside, but you can still take care of your hockey fix in their 1/3 sized indoor rink.
Really? Wow, crazy.
Stop in to 1010 North Avenue West and see what they have in store for your hockey needs. Hockey Wolf and Lacrosse Wolf is a proud sponsor of high school sports on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Welcome back to MPSN as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Missoula Mavericks lead the Great Falls Chargers 8-5. Chris Stratton at Century Field in Great Falls, Montana. Game 1 of our doubleheader as we move past the 3-hour mark, 3 hours and 18 minutes, or 2 hours and 18 minutes, I should say. 3:21 is the time. First pitch was at 1:03. Mavericks with the lead, 8-5, and it is the top of the order to start things off for the Mavericks. Sam Busey makes his way to the plate. It's Keaton Clark on the 5 Valley Auto pitcher's mound for the Chargers. So Busey, Frazier, and Johnson scheduled on the inning. Here's Busey now. First pitch. Busey will let go for ball 1. Busey with a great triple earlier. He's 1 for 3. Ground out a fly out. This one's going to hop. Shortstop can't put it in the glove, and Busey will get on board to lead off the inning. And a miscue puts Busey at second. Dane Frazier to the plate now for the Mavericks as our field umpire checks second base as Busey skidded in there. Frazier settles in. Here's the Clark pitch, and it's way outside for ball 1. Frazier 2 for 4, couple of singles, a ground out, and a fly out his last at bat. Frazier also sits with an RBI. And Frazier's going to crank this one into left field, into the glove, and Busey will come back to second, and that'll be out number 1. Brings up Bridger Johnson for the second time today. Johnson batting at the DH where Richardson started out at. That's a 3-hole batter. Busey at second with 1 out. And a high pitch gets us ball 1. Top of 7 on a 7-inning game. Mavericks have the lead 8-5. We'll have a 20-minute break between games before we get into the second one. Just enough time for the Chargers to flip the field. And this one will be to the shortstop. The throw will be made to first, just ahead of Johnson, and that's out number 2. It moves Busey down the line to third, though. As we come to the third baseman, Caden Heydrich, with 2 down and 1 on. And Heydrich's been a fun one to watch. Last year, as I mentioned earlier, he was the youngest player on the team, had some growing to do, and, put his head down as we get strike 1. Had to battle through a couple of games and turn those into learning experiences, and, came out as a top-notch player by the end of the season. One game that stood out was his game pitching in Rapid City. That was a game, as I called. This one's going to be off the knee, and here comes Busey, and the Mavericks will earn a run here in the top of the 7th off of a wild pitch to make it 9-5. That was one of those games in Rapid City for Heydrich on the mound where he had to just take his lumps and build the callus and learn, and he did. He came back and finished out the year with some strong games. As Clark will catch the outside of the plate for strike 2. But just watching him mature last year, he was just a very inspiring player and improved with every inning. He'll swing on this one, and with a pass ball, that will be, it's loose, and Hydro is going to get on off of the error at first. Brings us to Brendan Hill, the center fielder. So Hill with 2 outs has a runner at first. And Clark will throw it right at him for ball 1. And it looks like they've got the Gator ready to come out here at the end of this one. This one's found a gap. Hydro is around second on his way to third. It's at the wall. They're going to wave Hydro around. Hill's around second. He's on his way to throw. The throw is made, and Hill will have a triple with an RBI. And it's 10-5 Mavericks with 2 outs. As we come to Thomas Martin now. Hill standing at third. Martin going to follow the steps of his older brother James, going to MCC. High pitch for ball 1. Miles Community College Pioneers, where his brother James holds down second base. And James is going to put this one high into left field. Shortstop says he's got it. Shortstop falls, and that one's going to be putting Martin at second as Hill scores. And the Mavericks make it 11-5. We come to Connor Daniels with 2 outs and a runner at second now for the Mavericks. Top of the 7th. Here's the pitch. High for ball 1. We'll see a lot of different things here in these first couple of weeks. Non-conference games, teams just managers trying to figure out pitching rotations, who's going to be, as this one catches the outside of the plate for strike 1. But just trying to figure out where everything stands for their players. Here's Clark now with the pitch. And Daniels will foul it off for strike 2. Mavericks looking to build up so they have a strong finish here against the Chargers. Be interesting to see who will pitch in this next game coming up. Just have a feeling that Parker Stevens is going to be the one on the mound, but Parker faced Great Falls in that game too, as the outside pitch will even us out at 2. So I don't know if Hathaway will do that or not. Putting Parker up against Great Falls once again. I think that's how game 2 started opening weekend. Clark now with the pitch. Daniels fouls it back, stays alive at 2-2. Drew Stensrud in the on-deck circle. And a strikeout to end the side. So the Mavericks earn runs. They'll leave 1, and we go to the bottom of the 7th inning where it's all or nothing for the Chargers. Back after this on the Missoula Prep Sports Network.
Get Montana strong at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition. Montana owned and Montana proud. Your $29 a month Montana Mega Gym. Fuel has premier facilities with the latest equipment, nutrition superstores, high energy classes, refreshing smoothie bars, attentive childcare, expert trainers, and we never close. Best of all, you have access to 6 locations statewide for just $29 a month. That's less than $1 a day. Get Montana strong at Fuel Fitness and Nutrition. Go to clubfuelfitness.com right now to find a Montana location near you.
The Missoula Prep Sports Network is Missoula's home for high school sports, and we need your help. MPSN is looking for local businesses to help us cover our local high school athletes by advertising their business on the Missoula Prep Sports Network. If you know of a business that would be interested in helping the Missoula Prep Sports Network in our coverage of high school sports in the Missoula area, drop us a line by using the Contact Us link at MPSN406.com. MPSN, Missoula's home for Missoula's Prep Sports heroes.
Welcome back to MPSN. Chris Stratton at Century Field in Great Falls, Montana, as the Missoula Mavericks lead the Great Falls Chargers 11-5 on the Fast Trip Conoco scoreboard. Bottom of the 7th, it is all or nothing for the Chargers. And leading off is Cam McNamee. So it'll be the 7, 8, 9 batters on the schedule for the Chargers. Stuart Long on the 5 Valley Auto pitcher's mound. And his first pitch will be a ball. Starting to get a little chilly up here in the box as we get a wild pitch by Long for ball 2. It'll bring Clements, who's in the on-deck circle, out to retrieve the ball. McNamee, 1 for 3. A single, reached off of an error, and a pass ball. Pitch on the way. And that one will hop in front of the plate and make it 3-0. So long. A little slow out of the gate. But once he gets into a rhythm, pitches well. This one's fouled off to get our strike one. Leadoff batter here in the bottom of the 7th. And this one's hit. It's got eyes, but Bay is there, and we've got the out at first. 1 down. Takes us to the bottom of the order, or I mean to the 8-hole batter. And Brennan Clements, his second at-bat of the day. That puts the bottom of the order in the on-deck circle. Here's the pitch. Over the outside of the plate for strike one. High pitch, evens us out at 1. Mavericks on the road this week in in Helena on Wednesday. As we go 2-1 on the count. And then a 4-game homestand against the Billings Royals. And we go 3-1. Wind picking up here at Century Field. They don't have the scoreboard on, and I was told that's usually not an operation as we get a swing for strike 2. But that isn't in operation usually until the Voyagers come into action. And a strikeout for out number 2. So 2 down, 1 to go for the Chargers here in the bottom of the 7th, and it's the bottom of their order, Hunter Houck. Now we do have some dark, ugly clouds gathered to the south of us as this one's going to be bounced out. Bay with the throw to first. Stensrud with the foot down, and the Mavericks get the win 11-5 over the Chargers. We'll have a brief break, and then the Mavericks will get back into action in about 20 minutes. You've been listening to Missoula Mavericks Baseball on the Missoula Prep Sports Network. We'll talk to you in a few.
Thank you for tuning in to this presentation of Missoula Sports.
What a rush!
MPSN's coverage of Missoula Sports is proudly powered by Fuel Fitness.
Always, always, always.
Tune in next time when the Missoula Prep Sports Network has coverage of your local sports heroes.
Well,